Israel is interested in establishing a military base in northern Somalia to keep tabs on Yemen and the Bab al-Mandab Strait. Israel's interest in establishing a military base in Somaliland reflects its broader strategic objectives in the Horn of Africa, a region of increasing geopolitical significance. Israel's attention towards Somaliland is closely tied to the broader dynamics of the Middle East and the Horn of Africa. Somaliland, while not internationally recognized as an independent state, has managed to maintain relative stability compared to Somalia. Located strategically on the Gulf of Aden, Somaliland holds a vital position in one of the world's most important maritime routes, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which connects the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. This route is crucial for global energy and trade flows, making any potential Israeli presence in the region a valuable asset for increasing its dominance in the region, challenging other actors and securing its national interests. Iran's increasing influence across the Red Sea, particularly its alleged supply of arms to groups like the Houthis, represents a direct threat to Israel's security. A military foothold in Somaliland would offer Israel a vantage point to monitor and counterbalance Iranian activities in the region, contributing to its broader security strategy. Somaliland's location provides a unique opportunity for Israel to expand its influence in the Horn of Africa. Berbera, Somaliland's major port city, is undergoing significant development, primarily through investments from the UAE. This expansion could make Berbera a key logistics hub for the region, providing Israel with potential access to both economic and military advantages. For Israel, the possibility of establishing a military base or intelligence operations in Somaliland would enhance its ability to conduct surveillance and respond to threats in the region. The proximity of Somaliland to Yemen allows Israel to monitor and possibly intervene in the activities of the Houthis, who have increasingly targeted Israel's allies in the region, including Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Additionally, Somaliland's position along the Red Sea corridor close to Djibouti, where global powers like the US, China, and France have military bases, would further bolster Israel's strategic footprint in a geopolitically sensitive region. Such a presence would also complement Israel's existing relationships with East African nations like Ethiopia. While Israel does not currently recognize Somaliland as an independent state, there have been historical connections between the two dating back to Israel's early post-independence years when it sought diplomatic relations across Africa. In recent years, there has been growing speculation about Israel's potential to establish more formal ties with Somaliland, especially given their shared interests in counterterrorism and securing vital maritime routes. Israel estimates that cooperation with Somaliland offers not just security benefits, but also economic opportunities. Somaliland's developing economy, particularly in sectors such as livestock, agriculture, and infrastructure, could benefit from Israeli technological expertise. In return, Israel could gain access to new markets and bolster its trade in the region. The establishment of an Israeli military base in Somaliland would likely trigger varied reactions from Arab countries and Iran, given the complex political and strategic dynamics in the region. Iran would probably react strongly to any Israeli military presence in Somaliland due to its strategic position near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a crucial maritime route that Iran views as important for projecting its influence in the region. Tehran has invested heavily in building alliances with actors in the Horn of Africa, including Houthi rebels in Yemen, to exert control over the Red Sea corridor. An Israeli base in Somaliland would be seen as a direct counter to Iran's influence and its geopolitical ambitions in the region. Iran may respond by intensifying its support for the Houthis. Additionally, Tehran strengthens ties with Somalia, which opposes Somaliland's independence, and would view Israel's involvement in the breakaway region as a threat to its sovereignty. Iran could also escalate its anti-Israel rhetoric and possibly increase covert operations or cyber attacks targeting Israeli interests in East Africa and the Gulf. The reaction from Saudi Arabia and the UAE would likely be more favorable towards Israel's military presence in Somaliland. Both Gulf states view Iranian influence in the Red Sea and Horn of Africa as a major threat to their security and regional hegemony. The UAE has already established military and economic partnerships in Somaliland, most notably through its investment in the Berbera port. Saudi Arabia and the UAE may see Israel's presence as complementary to their efforts to contain Iran's ambitions in the region. Cooperation between Israel and the UAE, which has expanded since the signing of the Abraham Accords, could extend to Somaliland, where both nations might collaborate on military, intelligence, and economic projects. However, this cooperation could also be sensitive as it risks inflaming regional rivalries with Iran and Turkey, which have their own interests in the Horn of Africa. On the other side, Somalia claims sovereignty over Somaliland, and it would likely strongly oppose any Israeli military presence. Such a move could be viewed as legitimizing Somaliland's independence, something Somalia and the wider Arab world, particularly the Arab League, have consistently opposed. The Arab League could issue statements condemning Israel's actions, portraying them as a violation of Somalia's territorial integrity. Moreover, Israel's move might drive Somalia closer to countries like Iran and Turkey, which have been supportive of its territorial claims over Somaliland. The Somali government could seek to rally Arab states to isolate Israel diplomatically within regional forums such as the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Turkey has established a significant presence in Somalia through economic and military investments. It may also view Israel's involvement in Somaliland with suspicion. Ankara has positioned itself as a key player in Somali affairs, including through its support for the Mogadishu government. An Israeli military base in Somaliland could be seen as a threat to Turkey's influence in the region, and Ankara might respond by strengthening its military and diplomatic presence in Somalia. Turkey could also react by increasing its support for Somali authorities or by pursuing its own strategic projects in the region. As part of its broader geopolitical competition with Israel, Turkey might escalate its opposition to Israeli actions in multilateral settings and deepen its alliances with other actors that are wary of Israel's regional ambitions, such as Qatar and Iran. Egypt's reaction would be mixed. On the one hand, Egypt shares concerns with Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE over Iranian expansionism, particularly in the Red Sea. An Israeli military base in Somaliland could contribute to security in the region, which aligns with Cairo's goal of maintaining stability near the Suez Canal. On the other hand, Egypt has been traditionally supportive of Somali territorial integrity, and it may oppose any developments that could embolden Somaliland's independence claims. Cairo may choose to balance its interests by remaining diplomatically cautious, supporting Israel's security objectives while continuing to back Somalia's unity to avoid alienating other Arab states. Despite the potential benefits, Israel's establishment of a military base in Somaliland is not without its challenges. Somaliland's lack of international recognition presents a significant obstacle, as Israel's formal recognition of Somaliland could strain its relations with Somalia and other African countries that do not recognize Somaliland's independence. Moreover, Somaliland's internal political dynamics could complicate any Israeli involvement. While Somaliland has achieved relative stability, its political landscape is still shaped by clan-based politics, which could make long-term agreements and stability less certain. Ensuring that any Israeli-Somaliland cooperation is not viewed as favoring one clan over another will be essential to maintaining peace in the region.